What's up guys, DK here with Collector's Impact, and today I want to go ahead and talk about the fun little conspiracy theories that are floating around about Wizards of the Coast potentially reprinting Legends booster boxes of cards to use in the inserting for Dominaria United. So for anyone who may not know, Wizards of the Coast is going to be including one Legends card, pack fresh, per case of collector boxes. So for every 6 boxes of Magic that they're producing in collector box form, there will be one card, and that card can range from common, uncommon, or rare in the same ratio in which it would be pulled from the pack, minus a few of the cards that they're removing due to their political reasons and whatnot we won't get into today. But for the most part, it's going to be complete boxes of Legends that they're opening and inserting the cards in 1 in every 6 collector boxes. So with this, Wizards of the Coast released a video of them with many boxes. I think it's like 80 boxes or so of Legends that they were going through. And then, of course, there's speculation that there's more boxes than just 80. So the predicted print run, based on the information that we have with a little bit of speculation, is anywhere from roughly 180,000 to 250,000 boxes of the collector boxes for Dominaria are going to be produced, shipped, and distributed to the public at large here. Now, when it comes to the theory that Wizards of the Coast is reprinting cards from Legends to use in this project, I am not going to make fun of people who have that theory. Not to say that I think that the theory is true. So before you get all Timmy raged out on me, I'm not necessarily promoting the theory. I am saying that to dismiss the theory outright is very close-minded. And just in my humble opinion here, it's anyone who would just dismiss it outright probably has a reason to do so, whether they have a stake in Wizards of the Coast or they're just a super brand evangelist, brand loyalist to the point of they don't want to believe that their favorite company and or brand would ever do something like that. Now, again, that is not to say that that is what Wizards of the Coast is doing. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the theory exists for a reason, and I'm going to go ahead and dive into that. So as another YouTuber pointed out, they could have, if they really did have a warehouse filled with 60 or 80 boxes or whatever of Legends, Wizards of the Coast could have just sold those boxes into the public via either a charity auction or some other means. They could have sold them, and it would have brought them in roughly $5 million in revenue. The reason that they would choose to not do that and go ahead and insert the cards into the upcoming product is because by doing so and selling roughly 250,000 boxes, let's just estimate at $200 a box wholesale to the distributors, which it would be less, but or most likely would, at least. I don't know. We're just speculating here, but that would be roughly $50 million in revenue to the company versus the $5 million just selling Legends alone. The publicity gained from doing the stunt of inserting the cards is definitely, from a cost-benefit analysis perspective, it makes more sense to include it in a new product to generate hype and interest in that product and to justify a larger print run of a higher profit-yielding product line such as the collector boxes. So with that said, to say that there is no motivation for them to actually create new products, new boxes of Legends is kind of, it doesn't make sense. There is motivation there. Now, the real question is, could they do it? Could they pull it off? And that is where the big debate really lies. And it depends on your opinion on a large corporation's ability to really scale and do something. So now I will say one of the things is people are like, well, if they did produce that many boxes of Legends, if they produced, let's say, a small print run of 100 boxes of Legends for this project, that there would be whistleblowers. There would be people who saw the cards getting printed and they would report it and whatnot. And that's not necessarily the case, guys. I don't know if you have a lot of corporate experience and whatnot, but for a small niche project, it is not uncommon that, like, if that were to occur, and again, I'm not saying that it did, I'm simply saying that for it to occur, it's not an unreasonable thing to assume that there wouldn't, be a leak. In other words, people would have to sign non-disclosure agreements. Typically, it would be very trusted individuals who would be involved in a project like that because it's of a sensitive nature. There are ways to make it so that that doesn't come out. But the real question is, could they really duplicate the same quality as the Legends cards from 1994 in the production run? There would have to be a lot of variables to take into account. The various ink types that they used, the aging of the paper itself, the printer used, the type of paper. So there's a lot of variables that are really, really hard to account for all at the same time to make a perfect reproduction of Legends. That's where the theory really falls apart, in the sense of, if they start opening the packs and the cards are identical to the Legends cards that are on the market, then you can pretty much bet that they are original Legends boxes that were produced in 1994. Because it would be pretty much impossible to prove otherwise. You could always have the theory out there. I'm sure the theory will always exist that they're reprints. But it really is going to come down to the one-to-one comparisons. So for now, I'm just excited to see when the product gets opened and see some of the one-to-one comparison analysis that people do, because I know that it's coming. This theory is gaining traction. That sort of research will be done. Heck, I'll do it myself if I actually pull one of the Legends cards. I'll definitely be comparing them with a loop and all of that kind of stuff, looking for extreme details and the differences between the ones that come from those packs versus the ones that come from actual Legends cards that are available in the market today. It'll be interesting. So if there are any differences at all, and people start pointing it out, and then you've got your naysayers, they're just, putting on that tinfoil hat. If there are genuine quantifiable differences from a scientific perspective of analysis of the paper, ink, whatever it is, then you kind of have to really scratch your head on it. But until that day occurs, we're just going to give Wizards the benefit of the doubt that they are not reprinting the cards, and that they somehow found 80 boxes in their warehouse that they had stored away in a secret little location, which, they're prone to do. They are a large corporation. My only thing with that, and the reason that I even entertain the theory a little bit in my own head, is that back in 2009, when Zendikar came out, I was managing a LGS, and I remember the campaign for the Priceless Treasures from Zendikar, and it was a buyback program. At least, fact check me on this, I guess, if you want, because, I'm not 100% certain. I am going off of memory here, so we know how that can be, so definitely feel free to fact check. But the Zendikar program was a buyback program where Wizards of the Coast was buying cards from the open market that were near mint or better condition from certain eras of the game, mostly Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised, the Four Horsemen sets, and I think that's really it. They were going after star cards from that era, those from the 1993-94 era, and they were including them in a set number of packs. I don't remember the ratio. I don't think that it's one per case. I want to say it was like one per master case or whatever it is. It was like one in every 36 boxes or something. Again, I don't remember the ratio. I just know the cards were in there. I pulled one myself in person, so I know that that's not fake. They were definitely in Zendikar. The point being, they didn't in 2009. They didn't mysteriously and miraculously come upon sealed boxes of vintage cards in their warehouse and open them and use them for the Priceless Treasures in 2009, which the game at that point was only 16 years old. So it hadn't even reached its 20-year anniversary in the year 2009. Now, here in 2022, where next year is the 30-year anniversary, so almost double the amount of time has gone by, now all of a sudden they're finding sealed boxes of Legends in the warehouse. And, also take into account that back in 1994, card shops couldn't keep Legends in stock. It was not an easy product to stock. It ran out very fast. Distributors ran out of their supply very fast. So Wizards, a pretty new company that was up and coming with a new product, storing away caseloads of it in their warehouse for now 30 years with everything that's gone on in that market. That's why there's suspicion. I'm not saying that it's true, I'm really not. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I'm not saying that the conspiracy theory is true. I'm just saying that there is a reason that it exists, and to dismiss it is closed-minded. But ultimately, we'll see. When the product gets open and the cards are analyzed, that will put the theory to rest once and for all. Again, I'm definitely leaning more on the side that they are legitimate cards. They probably are, because it is Wizards of the Coast. After all, they have a lot to lose by being nefarious. But that's another point. So I'll go ahead and make that. Is that let's just look at the last couple of years in terms of life on this planet. I'm getting high level here, guys. Let's zoom out the lens, okay? Let's just look at the consciousness, the collective consciousness of the planet and the corporations and forces that have money and power. It should be no surprise to anyone. Shocker, there's a lot of greed out there. There's a lot of greed, and there's sloppiness related to greed, is what I could say. That's what I'll say. So greed is a powerful force. It's a very powerful force. So to say, okay, logically, a company like Wizards of the Coast has a lot to lose by doing something nefarious like printing 80 boxes of Legends or whatever, and including, doing that kind of a nefarious act to get publicity and money. $40 million or $50 million in revenue might not be enough to justify such a gamble. Greed is powerful, and even $50 million to a super large publicly traded company, they could. There's reason that they would do that.
Kier sorted the departments by virtue. Macro dats are clever and true, while O&D's more cruelty-centered.
That's just my opinion in terms of a motivation and or sloppiness, and the fact that like somebody somewhere could make a decision that's greed-based. That's like, yeah, we could really increase our profits, really increase our stuff if we do this. Especially with like heavy goals of constant growth.
The anticipation could distract from your work, which was the opposite of my intent.
That's the thing. There's always heavy goals, always constant growth. There's pressure from quarter to quarter for employees to perform every quarter.
Well, every time you find yourself here, it's because you chose to come back.
And if there's a way that someone somewhere found a way to do it, let's say they found, an old paper reel or whatever, or the old printing machine from back in the day, and they were like, oh, well, we could put it in the lobby of Wizards or whatever. I'm completely tinfoil hatting here, guys. This is just hypothetical conversation, but I'm just saying, like, what if they have the printer and some of the old paper, and they're like, oh my God, you know what we could do? We could print some of the old cards, and someone's like, yeah, and it stays real tight-knit. I mean, just to dismiss it outright is, to me, it's just closed-minded. But whatever. It's fun to think outside the box. That's it. It's fun to think outside the box. If you don't agree that it's fun to think outside the box, then I don't know what to tell you. Think outside the box more. It's fun.
I know your time is valuable.
Okay, well, you can drop them on the desk. Long hike back to O&D.
Anyway, again, not saying that it's true. I think Wizards of the Coast is probably being honest about this. They probably do have real cards, but it's something that has piqued my interest, and I will be following up on pretty closely and looking to see what kind of drama unfolds with this particular thing. The last thing that I'll say about these cards and this set is that, okay, like the pre-order prices are ridiculous at like $300 a box, $275, $300 a box. When you take into account that one of the, cards, like you get one in every 6 boxes of collector boxes, and it could be common. It could be a common card. And do you know how disappointed you would be if you paid $1,500 cash as a Timmy, and you open all those packs and you get a freaking Cyclopean mummy or whatever, like a 25-cent card? Could you even imagine $1,500 thinking you're getting a tabernacle or a moat or something, and then you pull a 25-cent card? I think I would shit a brick. That's just me personally. But what I'll say about that is, with a 250,000 potential print run for the product, I just don't think that that price point is sustainable. So I'm not going to be pre-ordering at that high of a price, that's for sure. Again, you know, this isn't financial advice. You do whatever you want, especially if you're just going to open and have fun with the cards. But if you're looking to sit on them sealed, just, you know, keep that in mind. Once the hype train dies down and we're onto the Brothers War and whatever, the fact that you can pull commons really does damper, it dampers things, and the print run is so high. I just don't see $300 being a sustainable price point. I don't. Maybe you do, and if you do, tell me why. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about all this kind of stuff, because it's fascinating, and it's a real head scratcher. Either way, thank you for coming by and checking out this video. If you liked it, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about it, and yeah, have a good day. See you back next time for another video. Take care.